Hey guys, it's Luke from RetroRevival here, and today I'm going to be doing a video on my collections of Game Boy games. So, it's going to be the original Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance. It was originally going to have the DS and the 3DS on it, but I've decided I'm going to do that next week now. But before I start this video, I just need to say a few thank yous. First of all, the idea of splitting up the video was by a friend of mine called CoobFPV, so check out his channel. And also another one of my friends who has a channel called Mr. T, who I'm going to leave a link to all of these in the card. The eye up above is going to be there. Yeah, he designed my new YouTube logo. Yeah, so I've got a new logo and a new banner. I made the banner myself with my brother, who I'll also leave a link up there in the card too. Also, I'm going to be adding a new part of this channel called Question of the Week, and every week I'm going to be releasing a video on the Saturday, and there's going to be a question or a poll up in there, up in the card, and I'd like you all to vote in it. Because that's the reason why this video is happening, because you guys voted for Game Boy, well, all the Game Boys, and it actually got 60% of the vote. So yeah, so this week's question is, what do you like the most, the original Game Boy, the Game Boy Color, or the Game Boy Advance? So after you watch, well, whilst you're watching this video, have a look in the card and vote for what you think is the best. Anyway, let's get right into it. First up, I wanted to show you some of the things you can play these games on. Of course, obviously, you can play them all on the original consoles, but I only have one of them, and that's the Game Boy Color. And you can play Game Boy Color and original Game Boy games on there by putting them both in the slot at the back. And some of the original Game Boy games get enhanced because of the Game Boy Color, so that's a good way to play them. You can play all of them on the Game Boy Advance, which I sadly don't have, but if you want to play Game Boy Advance games, you can play them on one of these. Yes, the original DS, you can play it on this by taking out the slot there, and I'll just grab one and put it in there, and then switch it on, and you're good to go. You can also play the original Game Boy games on this, and this is the Super Game Boy, which is an adapter for the SNES. So what you do with this is you put this in the top and it clicks in perfectly, and then you put that inside the NES, no, not the NES, the SNES, sorry, and that's how it works. So let's get on to the games. So I'm going to start with my original Game Boy collection. The first one is Pac-Man, and on this cartridge you can not only play the normal version of Pac-Man, but you can also play a Tetris kind of game called Pac Attack. And yeah, I suggest that if you've got a Game Boy, you should play this. The next two I'm going to clump together, and that is Pokemon Red and Pokemon Yellow. And I have shown these in videos before, and those are my gaming pickups videos, and I'm going to leave a link at the end of this video to my gaming videos playlist, Pokemon Red and Pokemon Yellow. Up next is Super Mario Land, and this is in really good condition for how old it is. This is basically a normal Super Mario platformer, and you should get this as a really good one, and yeah. The next up is one of the best-selling games of all time, and that is Tetris on the Game Boy. My version sticker on the front's gone a bit crusty, but, you know, it's a normal game of Tetris, and it's got the beautiful sounding music on it, so, yeah. Next up is Rugrats, and to be honest, I've hardly played this, so I can't tell you anything about it, but, yeah. Next up is Quicks, and I can't get my head around this game. I just don't know how to play it, but it's in extremely good condition, probably the best condition out of all my Game Boy games. And yeah, Next up is my Game Boy Color collection. I've only got 4 for this console, but you know, I think it's the worst out of all of the versions of the Game Boy. First up is Lego Island 2, and I really like this game. Not on the Game Boy Color, because it's not very good on the Game Boy Color, but on the PC it's extremely fun. So, yeah. Up next, probably my favourite game on the Game Boy Color, and this is Rayman, classic game series. Pretty sure you all know it. So, yeah, one to pick up. Up next, Spider-Man, and from what I've seen, this is just a normal side-scrolling game, kind of a beat-em-up as well. So, yeah. Finally, it's Toonsalvania, and I have not played this game. It's kind of like a spooky game. Yeah. So, yeah, there's that. Now on to the Game Boy Color. First up is Pokemon Sapphire, an absolutely amazing game. I absolutely love it, but, yeah. Up next is my favourite Pokemon game, which is Pokemon Emerald, and sadly, this isn't actually real, and it's kind of coming apart there. You can still play it. It's perfectly fine, but, yeah. Up next is a 2-in-1 cartridge, and that is Yoshi's Island and Super Mario Advance 3. And both of these games are extremely fun because I absolutely love Mario, and yeah, definitely suggest you getting this one. Up next is another Mario game, Mario Kart Super Circuit, and this is another great game on this system. I can just play this for hours and hours and hours. I'm not very good at it, but yeah, definitely suggest you getting this one. And for a Mario game, it's not too expensive. Up next is Jackie Chan Adventures. And I don't really think this game's very good, but it's another side-scrolling beat-em-up. But yeah, if it's your kind of thing, pick it up. And finally, my last game. As a massive Disney Pixar nerd, I had to get this. And that is Monsters, Inc. and Finding Nemo. I haven't played either of these games, but normally Pixar games are very good. So, yeah, if it sounds like your kind of thing, get it. Yeah, so that's my Game Boy collection. Yeah, so the second part of it, which is going to be the DS and the 3DS games, will be up next week on the Saturday. So come back and check it out next Saturday. And yeah, thank you very much for watching this. Don't forget to vote in the poll that's going to be up in the corner of the screen. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I've been Luke from RetroRevival. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all later. Bye.